Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly high-stakes engineering marvel. We're looking at a machine that is so much more than just a mode of transportation. We are digging into the story of America's new flying White House, the absolute next generation of presidential aviation. To understand the sheer scale of this project, you have to consider that we're talking about a program with a price tag stretching well into the billions of dollars. It requires taking one of the largest passenger jets ever built and completely gutting it to create an impenetrable, self-sufficient flying bunker. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a flying fortress. This is a story of incredible technology, massive budgets, and the absolute highest levels of national security, all coming together at 35,000 feet. Imagine an aircraft so impenetrable it can literally survive a nuclear crisis. Picture a flying command center, isolated miles above the surface of the Earth, yet fully equipped with military-grade encrypted communications, advanced missile defense systems, and comprehensive medical facilities. This isn't some Hollywood sci-fi movie. It's a very real, absolute requirement. The President of the United States needs the sheer power and connectivity to make world-altering decisions, deploy forces, and lead the nation from literally anywhere on Earth at a moment's notice. We're talking about the ultimate intersection of heavy aviation and global leadership, where failure is simply not an option. Okay, let's dive into this by clearing up a really common misconception. Air Force One isn't actually one specific magic airplane. It's simply the designated radio call sign used whenever the President of the United States is aboard any U.S. Air Force aircraft. Theoretically, if the President were to fly in a tiny single-engine Cessna operated by the Air Force, well, that little Cessna instantly becomes Air Force One. But when we talk about the iconic, highly recognizable blue and white planes operating today, we're actually referring to a highly specialized fleet. This fleet consists of two heavily modified Boeing 747-200B jets designed specifically to act as mobile White House command centers. But here's the massive challenge facing that fleet right now. We're relying on core technology from the 1990s. These current jets entered service in the early 90s. Think about what the world looked like back then. The internet was barely a concept for most people, smartphones absolutely did not exist, and we were all still rocking pagers and dial-up connections. While these planes are beautiful, historic pieces of machinery that have been meticulously maintained, they're effectively aging relics today. They are being forced to operate and protect the commander-in-chief in an era of immense, rapidly evolving modern threats. Upgrading them isn't just some luxury add-on, it's a critical, unavoidable necessity. So, the crucial point is understanding exactly why this replacement takes years, and why the urgency is escalating so quickly. First off, we're dealing with aging aircraft parts. Because the civilian versions of these 90s-era 747s are mostly retired and sitting in junkyards, sourcing bespoke replacement parts is incredibly difficult and expensive. That leads directly to rapidly rising maintenance costs just to keep them airworthy. But beyond the mechanics, the global threat landscape has changed drastically. The new aircraft must be equipped to handle the modern, invisible battlefield. That means entirely new protocols for modern cybersecurity threats, accommodating highly advanced new missile defense requirements, and fulfilling the absolutely critical need for flawless, uninterrupted communications in our hyper-digital age. To really wrap our heads around the immense scale of replacing these jets, we have to look at the differences between a standard commercial Boeing 747 airliner and Boeing's VC-25B presidential aircraft program. A commercial 747 is an incredible machine, designed to move passengers comfortably, right? But creating a presidential fortress requires extensive fundamental redesigns. For example, it needs military-grade electronics and comprehensive electromagnetic pulse, or EMP, protection. An EMP from a nuclear blast can fry normal computers instantly. To prevent this, the aircraft requires miles upon miles of specialized wiring that has to be painstakingly shielded. It brilliantly illustrates the astronomical engineering leap required to go from a civilian airliner to a flying fortress. That astronomical engineering leap brings us to a pretty harsh reality. Converting a standard civilian airliner into a highly classified command center is arguably one of the most complex aviation projects in the world. You simply can't just take a commercial 747, bolt on heavy armor and miles of copper wiring, and call it a day. Doing that drastically changes the structural integrity, the center of gravity, and the overall weight distribution of the plane, the whole shebang. Every single addition causes a domino effect in engineering that requires completely new aerodynamics testing and redesigns. Because of this unparalleled complexity, the project has faced years of widely reported delays and massive cost overruns. It's the grueling reality of building a bespoke aircraft that simply cannot fail. Now, What's really interesting about this slide is how the upgrades split into two distinct, incredibly complex worlds: the physical space and the underlying technical capabilities. On the physical side, you have a dedicated presidential office, specialized conference rooms for critical classified meetings, and a fully equipped medical suite that's practically a flying operating room, capable of handling life-saving emergencies. You also see the plans included a Trump-era exterior paint scheme. Then, looking at the technical upgrades, it's a completely different beast. You have a highly secure command center, advanced satellite communications that cannot be jammed, incredibly sophisticated defensive countermeasures like lasers to blind incoming heat-seeking missiles, and extreme long-range endurance capabilities that far surpass a standard commercial flight. Sticking strictly to the objective, publicly reported facts of the development process, former President Donald Trump took a highly active role in the early stages of this program during his presidency. He personally intervened to negotiate the initial costs of the aircraft directly with Boeing executives. Additionally, he strongly supported and pushed for a redesigned exterior paint scheme, advocating for a shift to a red, white, and dark blue design over the traditional light blue color. He also frequently discussed the project's massive overall expenses in public forums. These are the confirmed documented facts regarding his specific involvement in attempting to shape both the financial procurement and the aesthetics of this massive engineering undertaking. Let's move to and see how this builds into the broader timeline of presidential aviation. We started in the 1990s with the current 747-200B jets, which, as we know, are nearing the end of their viable lifespan. Presently, we're right in the thick of the VC-25B complex conversion, navigating those unprecedented structural engineering challenges and delays. But looking forward to the future, we anticipate incredible next-generation capabilities. For instance, we're looking at artificial intelligence assisting with aircraft maintenance. Imagine onboard computers that can perfectly predict a specific pump or valve will fail before it actually does, ensuring the plane is always ready to fly. Add in vastly improved cybersecurity, highly efficient engines, and next-generation communications, and you have a true marvel. Ultimately, this entire program is about much more than just a famous, recognizable airplane. It represents continuity of government, global leadership, and national security. Whoever occupies the Oval Office, this aircraft guarantees that the President of the United States can lead the nation seamlessly, without skipping a single beat. It ensures that the chain of command remains unbroken, whether they are communicating with submarines in the deep ocean or troops on the ground under almost any catastrophic circumstance imaginable. It is, quite literally, the ultimate insurance policy for the nation's executive branch. Which leaves us with one final, profound question. As it carries the power and responsibility of the United States across the world, what does it truly mean to step aboard the most sophisticated airplane ever built? The next Air Force One won't just carry a president from point A to point B. It will be the ultimate symbol of global reach, technological might, and enduring stability. Thank you for joining me for this explainer. I hope this leaves you with a much deeper appreciation for the incredible, high-stakes engineering happening right above our heads.